Standing between us and the greed and rapaciousness of the insurance industry is Insurance Commissioner Dave Jones. It's been an honor and a privilege working in this party and working alongside Dave as he stood up for working families, stood up for consumers, and I know that he has a long career ahead of him standing up for California's working families. Please, let's give a warm Democratic welcome to Dave Jones.
Thank you, California Democrats. And what a great convention it's been, and what a great convention it's going to be. We have a lot to be proud of as California Democrats, providing health insurance to 3 million Californians who previously had nothing, investing in our kids, our public schools, our classified employees, and our teachers, supporting working men and women and making sure they have a right to bargain and to collectively organize. Fighting for the rights of the LGBT community, protecting women's access to reproductive health services, balancing our budget, attracting new jobs and capitals, and building this great economy. That's what we've done as California Democrats. The list of our accomplishments goes on, but there's much more work to do. Too many Californians live in poverty. Income inequality continues to grow. Californians deserve better. We need to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and we need to do it now. More needs to be invested in preschools, in childcare, in education and higher education. We need to restore our safety net, and we need to invest in our deteriorating physical infrastructure. This is an agenda for California Democrats. We must defeat those like Donald Trump who seek to divide us based on religion, gender, or ethnicity. Discrimination and hate directed against immigrants, Muslims, and other diverse communities has no place in the United States of America. And together we'll make sure there's no place for Donald Trump or any other Republican who seeks to divide us in the White House. We need to fight private and public corruption. It's outrageous that no one went to jail among all those on Wall Street who wrecked our economy in the financial crisis while pocketing hundreds of billions of dollars at our expense. Now, during my time as insurance commissioner, we've arrested over 4,000 individuals for fraud, including corporate executives. No one gets a pass. No one. We also need to restore the trust that's broken down between communities and law enforcement. And if officers violate civil rights and the law, they need to be held accountable. One of the tremendous challenges facing us as Californians and Americans is gun violence. Gun violence plagues our state and nation. Tucson, Sandy Hook, Newton, Santa Barbara, the Navy Yard, Aurora, Binghamton, Charleston, San Bernardino, and Kalamazoo. The list of these mass shootings goes on and on and on. Every day, 86 more Americans die from guns. Annually, 32,000 Americans die from gun violence. The number of people killed by gunfire in the United States from 1968 to 2011 exceeds the number of Americans who died defending this country in all wars between the Revolutionary War and the Iraq War. It's simply outrageous. We need to get guns off our streets and keep them out of the hands of those who would commit violence, and we need to do it now. Universal background checks, including for so-called private gun sales and ammunition sales, are essential. Requiring a background check for all gun sales is the single most effective policy for keeping guns out of the hands of dangerous people and saving lives. But there's more that we can do. The proportion of homicides committed by dating partners has risen steadily for decades. We need to change federal law to prohibit dating partners convicted of domestic violence from buying or possessing guns and close the loophole that allows stalkers for Pete's sake, to buy guns. And in California, we need to close the loophole that allows guns to be loaned for 30 days without a background check. We need more tools to solve and prevent more gun crimes. In 2011, California passed a law requiring that for all new models of semi-automatic handguns, the gun's serial number would be stamped into a shell casing each time the gun is fired. With microstamping, more gun crimes can be solved, as crime scenes are often littered with shell casings. But here's the great tragedy. Because of the way this law was written, gun manufacturers only need to include microstamping on new models of semi-automatic handguns, not all new semi-automatic handguns. And as a result, 9 years after this bill was signed into law, not a single handgun in California includes microstamping technology. We need to fix the microstamping technology law, make it effective, and use it to prevent gun crimes. Now, here's a simple thing we should do. We should also pass legislation requiring all lost or stolen firearms to be reported to local law enforcement within 48 hours, and we should treat gun violence like the public health crisis that it is. Every year, Republicans in Congress, once again opposed to science, prevent the Center for Disease Controls from even researching ways to address gun violence. It's simply outrageous. Californians should not allow Republicans in Congress to stop scientific research. California should fund its own Center for Gun Violent Research that can lead the nation in preventing gun violence. Another big challenge, and one that threatens all of us and threatens life as we know it, is climate change. Governor Jerry Brown has provided tremendous international leadership in this fight. And as insurance commissioner, I regulate the largest insurance market in the United States, where insurers collect $259 billion in premiums annually. I'm responsible for making sure that these insurance companies are not taking undue financial risks with the $7.5 trillion in reserves they hold to pay future claims. As a financial regulator, I have concluded that climate change poses potential financial risks to insurance companies. Now, with all the new laws that have been adopted to further reduce emissions, and with the nations of the world gathering in Paris at the UN Climate Summit to make strong commitments to reduce emissions and prevent global warming, there is an increased risk that coal, oil, and gas investments will become stranded assets with diminishing or no value. This poses a potential financial risk to insurance companies holding these assets. Last month, I called on insurance companies to divest from coal, the first financial regulator in the nation to do so. And I announced new financial disclosure requirements for insurers to provide detailed and public disclosures about their investments in oil and gas. Climate change cannot be ignored. We must act now. So in closing, these are just some of the things that we stand for and fight for as California Democrats. Each and every one of the speakers today has articulated our vision of change, our vision of progress. And these Democratic priorities are why I want to serve as California's next Attorney General. I humbly ask for your personal endorsement of my candidacy. I started this campaign where all campaigns should start, with the grassroots of the Democratic Party. To date, over 80% of our Democratic Party county chairs, regional directors, caucus chairs, and officers have honored me with their endorsement. I hope you will join me by filling out the endorsement card that we have very helpfully placed in your delegate bag, and give one to one of the volunteers that are waving the yellow signs or are dressed in yellow t-shirts, or stop by our booth. It's a privilege to serve you and all Californians. I promise to bring to the office of California Attorney General the same vigor and progressive dedication that I've used to serve you as Insurance Commissioner. Thank you for all of your efforts to support democratic values and to elect Democrats. Remember to contribute to DEM 2016. Let's go to work.